Today's topic is flexibility and freedom, how to take a break without breaking your business. And I have to go, freedom! Like that from Braveheart before we start. A great but wildly historically inaccurate movie. In terms of flexibility and freedom, I think this is something we've all had experience with. Mine, in particular, when I was doing one-to-one PT and a jobbing actor back in London, I never took any time off. I went home once a year. I would only see my family once a year generally, unless my parents came to visit me, which they did on occasions. Poor me, get your violins out. But you couldn't take time off when you're self-employed, because if you do, you don't earn any money. And that's what this has come from one of our clients, how to solve this problem. That's what we're going to be talking all about today. James, do you want to talk about, the traditional model and its pitfalls and what we can do about it?
Yeah, absolutely. But first, I'd like to congratulate you on pulling yourself together to do that intro very professionally after the hysterics we've had in the last couple of minutes. So well done, Josh.
Thank you. No waffle. Carry on.
Exactly. So this is something that's across all personal trainers and gym owners across the board. They struggle to take time and vacation off. So what you've got to try and focus on is, what is your business model to begin with? Because if it is working 40 hours a week with doing 40 client sessions a week, and they're only with you in person, of course, if you go away and they can't pay you, or they haven't got a membership option to come with you, you're going to struggle to pay the bills when you go away. So you feel guilty about taking time off. So the first thing is, I think there's two tracks we have to look at here. One is the personal trainer in the gym and what we can do to help them. And the second is the gym or fitness facility owner and how we can help them do the same thing too. So there's two tracks we have to look at. I think we start with personal trainer first. Andrew, what do you think?
Yeah, let's start with personal training. It's something that's close to my heart. Also, I had the boot camps as well. And, it's something I've struggled with back in the day. So let's crack on.
Yeah, share your experiences, Andrew. What did you do?
I was mobile PT initially, realised that there was a cap on the number of clients that I could work with. And then I had to find a solution to be able to work with more. And that's when I transitioned then into the boot camps, much like yourself, Josh. I was running them. I had 6 locations. But again, I hit that standpoint, that thing that I can't take time off. I've got to service my clients, because if I don't get paid.
Yep, absolutely. And that is what we are trying to solve today. James, back to you.
Yeah, same with me. So I started off doing personal training clients before Strength Matters or Kettlebell Fever kind of took off. I was doing one-to-one clients, working with them in the same way. And it was hard to fit it all in. And if I didn't go, I couldn't make an appointment, and I felt guilty. And then sometimes you lose clients because you can't make appointments regularly. So the key thing here now is to establish, well, what is your business model? And if your business model is the old school version of training one-to-one clients and just doing it in person, you're going to struggle no matter what happens. So you've got to go to this idea of which we're really passionate about and sharing with you guys, is this model of hybrid personal training, where we want people to work with us in person and online and combine it together. So when you go away and take a break, now I struggle to go away on vacation and take a complete break, because I want to jump in and make sure everything's okay, and just because it's easier when I come back as a business owner, I can solve the problems easier and quicker and faster. So it's just something I do to keep on top of things. But
with me, James, I'm sorry to just jump in. I also do as well, even though I do occasionally take holidays now. I still do work while I'm away. It might only be an hour, but I do quickly check in, make sure my clients are all right, and then crack on with holiday. At least I'm on holiday.
No, exactly that. That's the key thing here now, is because what we're trying to do is to educate and train our clients to use both models so they don't miss out on their training. You don't fall behind with things. Whereas the old model is you're just pigeonholing them into this, training with you in person, only doing that. Whereas we're not educating them to take responsibility for the health and well-being, to actually give them some autonomy and train them outside it too. So the first step is to understanding what a hybrid training model is. And to do that, you need to have training software. Trainerize, True Coach, PT, whatever it is, have that and have a system of working with these clients in person and online, and then getting them comfortable and used to this. So when you do take time off, right, all you're doing is you're giving them workouts to do on their own so they can keep continuing with you, and you're just checking in with them at the same time. So it's changing your whole model and your thought process. But to do that, you've got to educate your current clients with this new system, but also make sure that every new person that comes in and every new client that comes into your system is adhering to this system straight away. So you may struggle with some of the older clients, but the new ones coming in, you're teaching them this new system, and it's the only method they'll have ever known once they come in to start working with you. And that's what we're all about now.
Yep, absolutely. Andrew, how can we go about, because there will be objections and challenges, how can we go about overcoming those?
I think with existing clients, it's going to be communication, just explaining the benefits of doing this, and it's an increase in the experience that they're going to get through this new program. But just asking them to trust in the process and trust in you, give it a try. And I know when I transition clients, not to hybrid, but I wish I had hybrid back in the day, but when I transitioned from one-to-one PT to semi-private, it was the same conversation in essence. Just trust me, I believe that this is going to work better for all of us, and we will review it again in a few months' time to see how you feel about it. We never did review it because they quickly grew to really love this new approach, and they were all in, and it will be the same with the hybrid training, as I'm sure you guys can attest to.
Yeah, absolutely. James, any tips for transitioning? As you said, you've mentioned technology. Obviously, you need some sort of app, as you say, PT, Distinction Trainer, Eyes True Coach, EverFit. There's lots out there. But what else do you need? What's essential? What are the bare essentials, let's go with, to do hybrid coaching successfully?
Training software. I think that's the first thing. Having training software to put your programs onto this platform, and thinking about their training in terms of a 7-day process, not just 1-2 sessions a week. What are we doing every single day? So they get used to checking into the app and following your homework for them, essentially. It could be drinking more water, eating more vegetables, taking more steps. Go doing a food shop on the Sunday to help meal prep. Whatever it is, you're setting tasks within the app for them to do. Now, focus on, if you haven't done this before, focus on one client only. Don't go to all the clients straight away. Okay, that's really important, because otherwise you'll overwhelm yourself, overwhelm your clients. It'll be a complete disaster and they won't want to do it if you do it. So focus on one, start small, and adopt this methodology. Now, it's great to do this because long term you can scale up your business a lot bigger than you can with one-to-one clients. So imagine at the moment you've got 20 clients who are each working with you 2 hours a day. That's 40 hours a week of hard graft on the gym floor and training floor. Well, what if you can get to 40, 50 clients, right, paying the same sort of money, so you double your income, but you're only seeing them once or maybe once a fortnight, whatever it is the model is that you're trying to work with. But that's what we're trying to focus on, is like the system of online software that ties in the training, the programs and everything to work with clients in one place. That's the beauty of hybrid coaching, is this freedom and flexibility, the freedom Braveheart type talk, essentially.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what's important to point out is the work you do now, and this is something we point out in business and marketing as well, will come to fruition rather in 90 days. So if you put the work in now to start transitioning your clients over one at a time, keep it small, keep it simple, 90 days, you might be able to in a position to go on holiday. Wouldn't that be nice?
Exactly. And we're not expecting you to do it straight away. If this is a bigger term picture, there's a phrase, I can't remember who said this phrase, live like no one now so you can live like no one else later. I think it's Dave Ramsey, actually, the debt guru. And I think it's a really important thing to understand, is that you're going to put a lot of work into this now. So in a year's time, you can be able to do it, right? Think of it in terms of a year project to make it happen. So there's a lot of work now, but in a year's time, multiple years down the line, you can take multiple vacations and it doesn't affect your bottom line. You can actually be less stressed, have that extra freedom and flexibility in your business, and feel less tired and trapped. That's the phrase we keep going into. You don't want to be trapped by your business. You want to have this hybrid approach that gives you that flexibility and freedom if you're a personal trainer working on your own. Now, of course, there are other things to think about if you're a gym owner, right, Andrew?
For sure. And I was just thinking about what you're saying. We work to live, not live to work. So it's important to get that into thing, even though we have a passion, as we all have, for the services that we offer.
Yeah, exactly. So in terms of the gym owner, what are some of the things that they have to think about to be able to take vacations? Because how many gym owners do we know who don't take vacations, who don't have that thing? What are they going to think about? In personal training yourself, it's easy. Adopt a hybrid model, get it set up, away you go. But what are people who've got staff and everything going on? What's something that they can do to think about having this vacation time?
Discussing it with their members, with their staff, I should say. for one thing, and just making sure that they've got the right systems and processes in place. Everybody is singing from the same hymn sheet, and that you've got an operations manual in place, because if you've got that, that becomes the Bible to refer to. So if you've got that in play, and you've taken that step to go on vacation, then at least your lead trainer can oversee things for you, your trusted lieutenant, and they've got that operations manual to, as I say, to refer to.
I think that's a good point as well. Talk about your teams, your trusted lieutenants. It's about building out a team of staff, isn't it? So I think, me personally, again, potentially down the line, we're trying to open up a facility involving cricket. And when I have that in place, I'm going to make sure we have a training system in place that everyone sings from the same hymn sheet from. And then I'm going to start building staff accordingly to help scale it up. So the staff and just even an admin member of staff to help you do it, if you have a facility, is important and key. But it comes down to profitability first as well. It's like, you're going to struggle to take a holiday if your gym isn't profitable to be able to pay for the staff to help do it in the first place. So there's lots of more considerations, and maybe it's a whole topic we can go into in a future episode about this. But just something to consider, that there are other things to think about. But I would always go back to this hybrid personal training model, because guess what? Your staff will want to take holidays too, right? You're going to find a way for your staff to go away on holiday, and for other staff to train and coach these guys who are there working with them and don't expect to be training with them too. So this is where the beauty of hybrid training comes in. We've spoken about this on the podcast, about how me and Josh are working with the talented young fast bowler from Cricket Matters, how we're combining the two things. It makes no difference whether it's me or Josh working with them. The idea is that we're both working with him, and he sees it like a seamless experience.
Absolutely. That is it for today. Please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. And if you want to find out what's holding you back from growing your fitness business, go to strengthmatters.com/quiz.